Hi everyone, in the previous session we had a discussion on Vandana Shiva's TED talk about Green Revolution. In today's session, let's discuss another interesting TED talk delivered by India's famous cardiac surgeon Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty. This talk is about India's healthcare and its affordability. Before we get into the talk, let's know about the speaker Devi Prasad Shetty. Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty is the founder chairman of Narayana Health, Narayana Hospital. He was born in 1953 in a small village in Dakshin Kannada district, Karnataka. He completed his MBBS in the year 1979 and started his career as a doctor. And later he thought of establishing his own hospitals, and in the year 2001 he started his hospital Narayana Hridayalaya Narayana Hospital and started giving affordable health care to the people. He has performed more than 16,000 heart operations. He has saved many lives, and recognizing his service to the mankind, the government of India awarded him Padma Shri in 2004 and Padma Bhushan in 2012. He also received the other awards like Karnataka Ratna and Rajyoswa Prashasti for the service that he has been doing for the mankind. He has delivered a talk on TED platform, and this talk was about India's healthcare and its affordability. He says that in India, healthcare is so expensive, it is not affordable. He says that if it is not affordable, it is not at all a solution. And in this talk, in this TED talk, Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty shares his experiences as a doctor. He says that every day in his clinic he meets 60 to 80 patients who have heart related problems, and most of them are children sitting on their mother's lap. And after diagnosing their problems, after diagnosing the children, if the doctor says that the child has a hole in the heart and he or she needs to undergo the treatment or surgery, the very first question that the mother asks is how much it is going to cost, the treatment or the surgery. And the doctor says it is going to cost 80,000 rupees. If the mother has 80,000 rupees, she can save her child, otherwise she would lose the child. So this is the condition that we see in India. It's all because of poor health infrastructure in India. Many people are dying because they cannot afford the health treatment. Those who have money can go to hospitals, private hospitals, and they can get the treatment, but the poor cannot afford the treatments, so they die. India has very poor health infrastructure, and because of that we are losing many valuable lives. That too, Indians are genetically 3 times more vulnerable for heart attacks. Our Indians develop heart attack at a very young age, especially in recent times. During olden days, we used to see the young children bringing their aged parents, the people who belong to 70s, 80s, so they would go to hospitals for the heart related problems. But nowadays we see the young parents bringing their small children, and the small children are carried to hospitals for heart related treatments, and the treatments have become expensive, the diagnostics have become expensive, the entire healthcare is becoming expensive. So if it is expensive, if it is not affordable, it is not at all a solution, is the opinion that the doctor has. In India, every year 2 million people are diagnosed with heart related problems and they need to undergo the surgeries. 2 million people, 20 lakh people need to undergo the heart operations every year. But how many are taking this treatment? How many are undergoing the surgeries? Only very few. Only those who have money go to hospitals, private hospitals, and they get the treatment, they undergo the surgeries, and they get cured. What about the majority of the population? They perish, they die. It's all because of poor health infrastructure in India. We see young women becoming widows. Why is this happening? It's all because the government is spending only 1.1% of its GDP on healthcare. More than that, it is not spending. In 100 rupees it is spending only 1.1 rupee on healthcare, which is very most important sector. Health should be given importance. Sometimes the government spends money on unwanted schemes, unwanted policies. Instead of giving the free schemes, or instead of investing money on IT, BT, or any other infrastructure, if the government spends money on health infrastructure, it will be a great impact on nation's growth and welfare. But the governments are not concentrating on this area. So the doctor Devi Prasad Shetty thought of doing something for his nation. So he started his hospital, Narayana Health Care, Narayana Hospitals, and he started giving treatment at affordable prices, affordable charges. But there are some people who can't even afford that small amount also, and for such people he developed a project called Yashashwini scheme, a low cost insurance scheme for farmers, the poor people. He developed and designed this project called Yashashwini scheme and convinced the government, then state government of Karnataka, to implement this scheme in the state. And the government was convinced, and it was implemented in Karnataka, and it benefited 4.5 lakh people. 4.5 lakh farmers had varieties of surgeries, and 60,000 heart surgeries were done. It was all because of the power of just 5 rupees. It was really a big boon for the farmers, poor people. It was a great impact on health sector, but it was not a burden on government. Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty, in his TED talk, he also talks about his unique idea that he has been trying to convince the policymakers to implement this. The scheme is, the unique idea is, in India 850 million people are using mobile phones, which means 85 crore people use mobile phones, and they do the recharge every month. Every month they recharge their mobile phones. Earlier, even if you had not done the recharge, you would get the incoming calls. But now, in order to get the incoming calls, even to get the incoming calls, you need to recharge your phone. So he says that whenever they recharge, if the government collects 20 rupees extra along with that recharge amount, we can cover the healthcare to the entire nation for free of cost. 85 crores into 20 rupees, just imagine. And every month it happens. Every month whoever has the smartphone has to recharge his mobile phone, right? We see the majority, at least majority of the people recharge their phones. And every time, sometimes we see telecom companies increasing the tariff values. Do we skip our recharge? No, we do the recharge even if the prices are more, right? So he says, Dr. Devi Prasad says that if we collect 20 rupees along with that recharge amount extra, we can cover the healthcare to the entire nation. This will be a great transformation in the field of health. And in the TED talk, he also talks about the patient's care. So generally what happens in a hospital, the patient is taken care by the nurse. But in his hospital, in Narayana hospitals, not only the nurse is trained to take care of the patient, the patient's spouse, for example, if the husband is the patient, wife is trained to take care of that patient. So that patient needs that continued care even after his discharge. So this is what he maintains in his hospital. So he has also developed a curriculum, audio video curriculum, in association with the Stanford University. So he trains the spouses who are caregiver to the patient. Even after the discharge, the patient requires continued care. This shows how the doctor is concerned about the health of the people. And in the TED talk, he also talks about the need for the women empowerment. He says that if a woman is empowered, we can see the progress in the society. We can see the betterment in the nation. And Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty has 21 hospitals across the nation, and in all his hospitals there are 13,000 employees, and whenever an employee is appointed, Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty prefers women, because if a woman is employed, she becomes empowered, and whatever she earns, she saves even every single rupee, and that saved amount, that money, will be spent on family welfare. And she also teaches the children, she also teaches her children about that same financial discipline, and the children learn that financial discipline, and when they grow up, they maintain the same discipline. That's how the country progresses. That's how we see the empowerment. That's how we see upliftment of the societies. So this is all about Dr. Devi Prasad Shetty's talk on TED platform. Thank you.